Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of the Mauryan Empire and the first unifier of India. He ruled between 340 BC to 298 BC. He was successful in conquering most of the Indian subcontinent by joining many small regional kingdoms. The vast Mauryan Empire extended from Bengal and Assam in the east to modern-day Afghanistan in the west, to Kashmir and Nepal in the north, and to the Deccan Plateau in the south. Whoa! That's quite a lot. And children, he maintained a strict control even over the remotest of areas through specially appointed officials. These officials collected the taxes and worked under the supervision of the ministers and members of the royal family. The young princes were given the responsibility of taking care of their individual provinces as governors. For better communication between the vast stretches of land, the Mauryans developed the infrastructure in their kingdom. They built roads, bridges, and improved the facilities for the travelers so that they could communicate with their representatives and common people throughout their kingdom. Arthashastra, written by a minister of Chandragupta, Kautilya, whom you better know as Chanakya. Chanakya was Chandragupta's trainer and political counselor. Under Chanakya's guidance, Chandragupta ended the Nanda Empire, which laid the foundation of the powerful Mauryan Empire in northern India. And do you know that at that point of time, Chandragupta was about 20 years old? Chandragupta had also conquered certain Persian provinces in the east, and then he diverted his attention towards the Deccan Plateau. He won most of it except the Tamil kingdoms of Pandya, Chera, Chola, Tra, and Kalinga in modern-day Orissa. Ashoka was one of the most famous Indian kings. He ascended the throne in 273 BC. During his reign, the country made progress in terms of science and technology, as well as advanced in medicine and surgery. There was a lot of stress given on religion. The people in his kingdom were honest and straightforward and truthful. Ashoka himself was a generous king and worked day and night for the welfare of his people. But do you know, he was not like this in the first half of his life. He used to be a cruel king who brutally murdered the people in the battlefield. Because of his callousness, he was also known as Ashoka or Ashoka the Cruel. Ashoka changed after the Battle of Kalinga. Kalinga was a prosperous little kingdom lying close to the Bay of Bengal. Ashoka wanted to capture this fertile land and so surrounded it with his army. But the brave people of Kalinga did not want to lose their independence to Ashoka and decided to fight him. A fierce battle followed, in which thousands of people died. Ashoka's army won in the end. When Ashoka went in the battlefield, he saw a large number of wounded, crippled and dead soldiers all around him. There were widows wailing on their husbands, children crying, sitting next to their dead parents, and mothers mourning for their sons. It was a terrible sight indeed. Ashoka realized that he was responsible for the sorrow and pain of these people. This tragic situation was just a result of his greed. A new light dawned on him and he swore never to fight again. Ashoka then converted to Buddhism, after which his life was completely transformed. He religiously followed the principles of Buddhism, that of truth, charity, kindness, purity, and simplicity. He helped propagation of this religion by engraving its principles on pillars and rocks throughout his kingdom. He also attempted to spread this religion to other countries and sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sangamitra to Sri Lanka for this purpose. Ashoka opened hospitals and dispensaries for the poor. He planted trees to provide shade and opened inns for the shelters of travelers and laid out green parks and gardens to beautify his kingdom. Wells and tanks were also constructed for the benefit of his people. He believed in non-violence, and so he banned the sacrifice of animals. Besides this, he opened clinics for birds and animals too. His good works earned him the name of Devanamapriya Priyadarshi. He died in 232 BC. After Ashoka, none of his sons and grandsons were strong and powerful enough to extend the Mauryan Empire further, and it fell apart. The last Mauryan king was murdered in 184 BC, which ended the Mauryan Empire. The region again returned to the control of small city-states. To honor this great king, the emblem of India is adapted from the lion capital of Ashoka at Sarnath. You also see the Ashoka Chakra in the middle of our national flag. Children, India, the southern region of the Vindhya mountains and the Narmada river, was known as Deccan. Further south was the land of the Dravidas or Tamils. The Satavahanas, 28 BC to 250 AD, also known as the Andhras, emerged as an independent power in the Deccan in the 1st century BC. It was founded by Simuka, 65 BC to 25 BC. His son Satakarni, 25 BC to 20 AD, succeeded him. Under the Satavahanas, many Buddhist worshipping halls called chaityas and monasteries known as viharas were constructed. Some famous ones were built at Amaravati and Nagarjunakonda. Buddhist cave temples at Ajanta and Ellora were also constructed during this period. The Satavahanas contributed a lot in improving the communication and transport system to end the isolation of the southern kingdoms. Because of this, trade and exchange of ideas also increased between the southern kingdoms and the other parts of the country. South of the Deccan Plateau and of the Satvahana kingdom, 3 dynasties emerged. These were the Cholas in the area of Tanjore, the Pandyas in Madurai, and the Cheras along the Malabar coast. The Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas were continually at war with each other. However, under the aegis of these kings, especially the Pandya kings, the rich Sangam literature of South really flourished. Sangams were assemblies of Tamil poets held in Madurai. So, these kings may be fighting with each other, but they were great patrons of art, culture, and literature. Children, After the end of the Satavahanas, a family who called themselves Ikshvakas assumed the royal titles and established a kingdom with its capital in Vijayapuri, located near the bank of Krishna river. The important kings of this dynasty were Chantamula and Veera Purushadatta. These kings brought the small village chiefs and headmen together by marrying in their families. Though they claimed to be the descendants of Lord Rama, they mostly followed Buddhist religion and built a lot of stupas and monasteries. These were some of our ancient kings of India.
2000 years ago, Kushans migrated from China and established an empire with its center in Afghanistan. Kanishka was the most famous Kushan king who ascended the throne in 78 CE. They controlled a large territory in present-day Pakistan and India up to Mathura, Allahabad, and also the trade routes passing between India, China, Iran and Rome. This era witnessed the expansion of trade between the countries and rise of religious preachers, scientists and artists. People got the opportunity to know about each other's customs, religious and philosophical thinking, art and architecture, etc. Large number of gold coins are in use from this period. In 78 CE, with the ascension of Emperor Kanishka, a new era began, called Shaka Era or Shakabda. This era is 78 years behind the Common Era, and many South Indians use this calendar to this day. Guptas began their rule in Bihar over a small kingdom and extended from Gujarat to Bengal and Delhi to Madhya Pradesh. Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, Kumaragupta and Skandagupta are the famous kings of this dynasty. The two major developments that took place in Indian political system are they allowed the old kings to continue to rule, accepting the superiority of Guptas and Gupta kings, gave villages to Brahmins with full administrative rights, and which need not pay any taxes to the king. The famous Mehrauli iron pillar in Qutub Minar in Delhi was set up by Chandragupta II, who was also called Vikramaditya. This pillar is not rusted despite standing in open air for the last 1700 years. Guptas patronized Vaishnavism, Shaivism and also Brahmanic religious practices like Ashwamedha sacrifice. The Gupta kings also patronized and gave grants to Buddhist stupas like Sanchi Stupa and Jaina monasteries. Beautiful temples were built during Gupta period, and some of them are still existing today in Deoghar and Udaigiri in Madhya Pradesh, Bhitragaon and Iran in Uttar Pradesh. These temples also contain beautiful stone sculptures dedicated to Vishnu and Shiva. Gupta period is also famous for some of the best sculptures of the Buddha from Sarnath.